Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go.
Welcome to probably the best board game podcast in the
I'm
well,
convinced
maybe
so
not
far.
the world. Yes, we're good. We're good. This is the best good podcast about board games.
Probably, you said.
My name is the Star, Jerry.
This is Gabi, the cornerstone of the podcast, the foundation, if you will.
Very nice, very nice. And again,
Oh,
we're
primary
coming at
host.
you-
That's my title. I went
primary
too
host.
far into the metaphor of it all. Forgot the actual just title.
We're still separated, so we're having to do this over the intranet.
Hey,
which is
did
not
you
good.
know that the coronavirus is not gone? But yet everybody's acting like it is, and they're surprised that it's blowing back up. It's so weird. It's so weird.
It's pretty rough in my neck of the woods right now. It is finally really taken off here in southeastern Oklahoma.
Is your neck of the woods red? Interesting.
Pretty rough.
Interesting. Do you know what happens when you're in isolation for too long? I just read this. Did you know? If you ever take a trip to Antarctica, be sure to do as much socializing as you possibly can and come up with stimulating ways to keep yourself busy, because brain imaging in 8 polar expeditioners before and after 14 months of isolation showed that the volume of the hippocampal dentate gyrus was lower than in controls. The layman way of saying it is the brain shrunk. They said researchers believe the changes in the brain are the result of environmental monotony and prolonged isolation. So we're all going to come out with smaller brains.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of things can shrink your brain.
Like isolation. My brain is shrinking.
I don't.
Quarantine brain.
No. I don't think.
It's real.
I don't think that's something you need to worry about. Like, alcohol can cause brain shrinkage in the hippocampus, which is the memory part of your brain.
What's that?
The hippocampus. That's the memory part of your brain. It's not the medulla oblongata. The hippocampus is the part that involves your various functions and memory. And so that can be that can cause a lot of issues with you. So
The hippopotamus of the brain. Got it.
got it. Have you done anything interesting here lately? Because I like your banter.
What are you doing with your life? Is that what you're asking me?
Basically,
I'm just
'cause your
telling you.
banter is
I've told you that our isolation is shrinking my brain. That's what my brain's been shrinking. That's what I've been doing.
I have read more and done more since I'm in isolation. My brain has expanded since.
Oh, shit.
So I
So is your
not,
ego. Your
Oh,
brain
no.
holds up with your ego.
Yeah, it's good. We're going up. We're going up, as you would say. We're going up, baby. It's my best Gabi impersonation.
I went and played. So I shot some hoops by myself the other day. Well, no, Paige was there.
Shot some hoops. Is that like
shot some
lingo
hoops.
that you hate onion rings or what is that?
No.
What does that mean?
I know you're not a sports guy, but it means, shooting the b-ball.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
badminton.
hitting up the rim.
Yeah, I got it. I'm good.
I was out of
know
breath.
about-
I was out of breath tremendously. Like, I just decided to go back and forth, like shooting 3 points. I was trying to make it my exercise, because I hate exercise. So I was like, what can I do to make exercise fun? Well, I used to like sports. So I went into the basketball court, and Sade was riding her rollerblades around while I shot baskets, and it was pretty good. But I realized I am severely out of shape.
Well, I think a lot of people are out of shape, and I mean, and that's something that you either you're cognizant of because you take part in activities that, kind of wear you out and you realize, I need to change this. Or you're like most people and you just don't care anymore. So it's all up to you. Do you just...
Well, that's probably a bit of both worlds.
Maybe you can seek to change that. I myself have been watching my health a little bit more here lately because I was forced to go to my general practitioner's office to get my blood drawn, and they have for a long time treated me for hypokalemia, which is a fancy way of saying I don't eat enough bananas. And my potassium is like gone, and so which makes you very lethargic. So I'm not tired, I just lack energy. I'm low energy, as you would say. And
I've been called that.
Yes, I know I have called you that.
Is that because I don't eat bananas?
I don't know. My body rejects potassium.
So is that why chimpanzees are always running around so hardcore, playing, climbing trees?
I don't know if they. I know that's kind of like a thing where people think monkeys eat bananas. I'm not sure that's 100% true.
I've seen it in movies.
Like I know I've seen it in movies, but that doesn't mean anything.
Curious George
in movies.
Curious George likes bananas.
Okay. Well, maybe he ate bananas because he was curious.
That silly rascal was always up to hijinks. His potassium's through the roof.
Oh. Curious George.
Gosh. I think your hypothalamus is shrinking.
Curious George made me think of Enrique. So this is something I had to tell you about. So the other day, Enrique's dad is working on his swimming pool, right? And so it's like nice. A thing, So yes, he has a swimming pool. It's a sports pool, which is weird because it's the pool that basically has volleyball in it because that's what it's designed for. But anyways, I went over to Mag's house and it's outside, and I'm social distancing, wearing a mask, all that jazz, and he's over there. So I'm yelling at him from across the pool, and who emerges out of the shadows but Enrique, shirtless, about to try out the pool. I could not help but notice his chest hairs had been manicured and shaven into a design. Would you like to guess?
Kal-El.
I'll give you one
Superman.
guess. No. Close. Batman.
Oh.
He cut his chest hairs into the bat signal.
So was the bat symbol where the hair was gone, or did he keep the hair in the bat symbol?
No, the hair was the bat symbol.
That is amazing. Why is there no pictures?
I couldn't bring myself to, because it was so horrific. And I said, what do you do? Like, do you think that if somebody needs Batman's help, you just rip your shirt and start flashing your flashlight into your chest hairs, and hopefully the Cape Crusader will come help you? He's like, no. And he tried to deny it at first. He acted like he didn't do it. I was like, nobody's chest hairs just formed that way. Like, nobody's chest hairs is of the bat signal.
Well, how does your brain go to that? How do you go, I'm going to shave my chest hair into the bat symbol? I don't have enough chest hair to do that.
Well, he does. Oh, he has more. He has more than enough. That boy has more hair. It's shocking.
The Tom Selleck of the podcast.
I'm not sure that reason why Mag, his dad, was working on the pool was because he had shaved while he was swimming and his hair's clogged up the pool. I'm not sure.
You gotta clean out them Enrique Chester hair curls from the filter.
Yeah, so that was a thing that I saw over the weekend, and I can never unsee.
What did he do with his back hair?
I don't know. He's probably gonna have a checkerboard or something. he'll go all out on that one. He'll go all out.
Oh, that is interesting.
Okay, so while we're at it, number one, wild monkeys do not eat bananas. Oh, wild monkeys do eat bananas, but the bananas that monkeys are fed in the zoos are cultivated for humans to have more sugar, and these bananas are too sweet for primates. So it's like a thing where they're telling zoos, be careful what types of bananas that you feed them.
So wild bananas aren't what we eat?
Well, no, bananas as a whole are, you've known my rant about this,
yes,
about all bananas being clones.
Yes, they're clones.
Yeah, all bananas are clones. They're all like Cavendish bananas. So like literally real bananas are like extinct or going extinct. Like there's really hardly any real bananas. What we have now are clones. How
do you get hold of a real banana? Is there like a black market for real bananas?
I don't know. I'm not sure. There may be this underground thing of
those
banana.
Might be what you need. They might have more potassium, and you might need to be going to the dark web. You need to go to 4chan and order you some wild bananas.
I can't even get on Reddit. I doubt they're going to let me on 4chan. Okay. So since we're sharing embarrassing things that has happened to us during the quarantine, I will share one thing that happened to me that I am quite ashamed of. That I injured myself. I have told nobody about this except, of course, my wife and my children who witnessed this. And so most parents have this thing of these items that they keep around the house that they can feed their kids. Like you just don't want to cook. Here's this thing.
I was about to say, I bet you nicked your nipples trying to do the Batman symbol in your chest hair.
No, that was after. So essentially, there's these sandwiches that look like raviolis. They're peanut butter and jelly sandwiches pre-made. And they're enclosed by the bread. The bread's tapered down around.
I've seen that.
Okay. So my wife, of course, keeps these in the freezer because she takes them out, you put them in a bag, and you go about your business throughout town, and they thaw out or something, and the kids just eat them. And they're just, they're not that messy because they're enclosed in bread, and you don't get peanut butter and jelly everywhere. And so they're just a thing. I had never ate one. And like an idiot, I took one out of the freezer and didn't think, I need to defrost this is what I thought. And so I stuck it in the microwave and tried to defrost it. And then I got busy. And then I went back and I microwaved it. And then I got busy. And then I forgot about it. And then I went back and microwaved it a little bit more. And I kept filling of it, and the bread was still very tepid. And I thought, well, I can't eat a tepid. It's soggy and it's not very... So finally I thought, okay, I'm just going to eat it. I'm starving to death. I took it out of the microwave, and I bit into it, not thinking that I had superheated the contents inside. The jelly inside this sandwich was boiling. When I bit into it, flaming hot boiling jelly not only squirted into my mouth, but squirted out of the sandwich onto my hands, across my knuckles, and onto my thumb. Have you ever tried to get hot jelly off of yourself?
No.
It's nigh impossible. It burns and spreads. And so as I am trying not to burn my tongue off and get to the sink to spit this out and to wash off the boiling jelly, I straight up first degree burned my entire hand with boiling jelly. And all while this is happening, my daughter is standing there going, hey, that's not supposed to go in the microwave. And she repeats it. She repeats it 3 times.
Why are you burning yourself? Did she say, it looks like you're in quite the jam?
No, that would have been perfect. That'd have been perfect. I'd be like, you're going to have to go.
What a fool you are.
You have to go live with Gabi now.
Well, that's why, that's the whole, Hot Pocket thing. It's just, I don't, those things are terrible. Like everything you stick in the microwave like that. Well, first of all, you're not supposed to microwave it, are you?
No, you're not. And I have no respect for anybody who eats Hot Pockets.
They turn into boiling hot lava, or in the center is still an icicle. So I hate that frozen stuff.
I know I'm probably offending many of our listeners, but if you eat Hot Pockets, only a certain type of person eats Hot Pockets. It's somebody who has either no self-respect or really enjoys, Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3. And so that's the type of people I assume eat Hot Pockets.
Fired. What did Eric do to you?
I don't know. I just assume that he likes Hot Pockets because he likes poor movies. But
that's sad. That's sad.
That's neither here nor there.
I hope you've healed your wounds since then.
I have.
Do you have scars?
Only internally. Much like my hemorrhoids.
Oh, nice.
Have you played any board games here lately?
I've been trying to play as Alexander, Field Commander Alexander. The first time I played it once a couple months ago and just learned it. And I wiped the floor with Alex, like the first map. They got like these series of maps. It's supposed to be like the campaign you can do, or you can play them single. Well, I played the first map, Granicus, and I took Alex and I marched up and down that map, wiping them out. I was like, this game's too easy. Well, since then I've forgotten how to play, so I broke it back out this weekend and was relearning it. Alex didn't fare so well this time.
Yes.
Because as he's marching across, I made it to Halicarnassus, and they have these walls that take your values down by 2. Each wall is -2 to your attack value. So they're near impossible to get past. So I was trying to do this intimidate thing. Well, it's a whole thing, but I intimidated one. I tried to intimidate the next. I failed. So once you fail, you have to battle. Well, it's got that little thing on there for your enemy operations where every time you end your turn and go to the next set of years, it puts out this operation, and you might either have to reinforce the enemy's garrison or it costs you gold. It always costs you something. But basically, long story short, I got to Halicarnassus,
Yes.
And they had a vast amount of forces. Alex was overrun. It was like 10 forces to my 5. And they had all these. And for each force, they have a battle plan. So I was drawing out more battle plans that would add a force or subtract a force from me. It was a slaughter. It was a slaughter. And I even retreated several times. Like, you can retreat as Alex to, get out of there so that he doesn't die. But if you roll less than his attack value, then your armies lose anyway. So you lose all your army, but Alex is able to get out there to fight another day. I did that 3 times and still was unable to rally my forces enough to win. But it was bad. It was real bad. The Persians were getting some really good rolls. Like, every time I rode for them, they were just wiping the floor, and all my rolls were not doing good. It's fun. It's heavily luck-based to an extent. You have these battle plans that mitigate a bunch of that, but at the same time, sometimes just the die rolls just don't go your way, and they wipe you out.
Yeah, and it is very... it's a very difficult game because of the luck factor, and plus the AI is set up to always have the advantage. I have not played the Field Commander Alexander. I played Field Commander Napoleon, which is very, very similar, based on the same system, and I enjoyed it. But the one thing that kind of held it back for me, it was just sometimes you're just not going to win. Like, the system is set up. It's a very interesting solo game. Like, Field Commander Napoleon was one of my favorite solo games, and I played it to death until I realized, the randomness of it just kind of, I lost a love for it after a while. But yeah, it's a great system, that Field Commander system.
Yeah, well, and it's good because, like, literally everything is on the board. Like, everything you need to do is written on the board, and once you understand exactly what it means, it's a very nice little setup they got.
I've been itching to.
I could see it getting repetitive, though.
I've been itching to get out another Dan Viersen game, which is that Thunderbolt Apache Leader. I've been itching to set that up and start playing it again, and I think I just gonna have to buy it some time. I am currently I've got too many projects going on. I've just got too much stuff taking place in my life, and I'm also enjoying way too many goofy. I'm just getting distracted by everything right now.
I hear you've been playing Fireball Island.
Yes, I've been playing Fireball Island with the kids, which now would be a nice time to segue, hard merge that into our part with Jack and him talking about Fireball Island.
What's up, Jack?
What's that about?
It's about where you try to steal treasure by not getting hit by fireballs that come out of a volcano. And if you get hit down by a player, the player that hits you down steals your treasure.
So it's kind of like Target on Black Friday.
And
So you're playing against your father?
Yes, and
we had to play against the whole family.
I am ruthless.
Oh.
It's an old game by that Restoration Games, that Rob Davio company, where they restore old games.
Yeah.
And Fireball Island is this monstrosity of plastic pieces where it's for a family game. It's very mean.
Yeah, it sounds like stealing, knocking people out. Yeah, nice family game.
And you have to get 3 snapshots and grab a jewel that is near the volcano without getting hit by the player.
What's a snapshot?
A snapshot is a picture that you had to take of the island.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
you're kind of like tourist on this island. You're going around taking pictures of the location, and I just want to point out that Jack's 7 years old, and he's given a better description of games than we do. So,
Did you write this down for him?
no, he's just sitting on the way over. He's like, I want to talk to Gobby about Fireball Island, and I'm like, what do you want to talk about? And I don't know.
You are quite good with words.
He gets that from his father.
I'm sure.
Really?
So, do you like Fireball Island, Jack?
What?
Do you like Fireball Island?
Yes.
Do you like Fireball
It's a very
Island?
fun game, and you get treasure. And if another player passes you when you have the jewel, they get it, and you have to get back to a place where you get picked up by the helicopter. And whoever gets back to the helicopter first with the jewel wins the game. And they fly away from the island, and they survive for good.
Just like Jurassic
It was
Park.
pretty much, and it is interesting. Like I said, as a family game, it's very mean because you play these. You have 2 cards in your hands that depict how many spaces you can move, and
You can launch embers everywhere.
yeah, if you launch these little marbles that are on the board at other players, and obviously there's a path that if they go down
That's
them,
like that's the
And
main
there's-
crux
and
of the
there's-
game, right? The big marble coming down, knocking people
yeah,
out.
just not
And-
yeah.
And there's roots of trees that block the fireball. And if you get hit over and over and over, you might lose all your treasure.
For instance, in our game, Jack had made it to the top of the mountain and had stole the main jewel. And if you pass a player who has that jewel or knock them over, you can steal it from them. And so basically this very comical routine happened where I would pass Jack and steal the jewel, and then he'd pass me and steal the jewel, and eventually he ended up knocking me over, stealing the jewel, and then getting to the helicopter. And so it's a very good family game, but it's
And
very
it's very fun.
it's very aggressive. So if you come from a weak bloodline or you have
Like
weak
most people
children, then don't play it.
So,
And
did your
if
children
I-
cry at any point?
And if I before I moved, I will move here, and then someone tries to pass me, I make sure to get to a place that where Daddy cannot get me, and it will take him forever to get to me.
Right. And
Plus-
Jack only cried once during the game, which
Jack, did you cry? Why did you cry, Jack?
because
Oh, such a loving family. You're the epitome of the American dream.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it was a great game.
Jerry, contain your children.
And whenever
What about
I
Kaya?
did beat him,
Did Kaya play?
Yes.
yes, and she was her model that she was playing was a purple girl running away.
Kaya enjoyed just launching embers at people, just knocking the little marbles that are positioned, and she didn't really care about collecting things. And so, again, that just
She
won't.
is mean. She is a mean little girl, anyway.
Whenever you get to turn the volcano, you get to turn the volcano around and around.
Volcano. You pronounce it just like your dad does.
And if you if you get on your card, if you have a picture of something rotating, that means you can rotate the volcano. And whenever I was a far behind Daddy, not very far behind though, I
Right.
got a 12 space card, and he was only like 4 steps ahead of me, and I went past there, and I got to the dog, and I said, "Gotcha."
Then yes. Thank you, Jack.
Remember that in life, Jack. Your dad's always going to be 4 steps ahead of you.
There you go.
Yes, and he was not a very good player.
All right, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
No.
This is our segment on. This is the as long as a segment we can have where we utilize our children for content. Thank you, Jack.
Totes
So tell Gabby good night.
You're welcome. Bye, Gabby. See you next time.
Bye, Jack. You're our 5th member of the podcast.
What?
Never
Yes.
mind. Go to sleep.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, Gabby.
Good night. You're my best
All right.
friend, Jack.
Okay, so there's a segment.
Bye.
All right.
Leave, Jack. Leave. I've said my goodbyes.
Okay.
But yeah, see what I did there?
I seen what you did there. Anyways, enough about Fireball Island. I'm still thinking about Halicarnassus. You know, Halicarnassus is where the mausoleum was at, which was the 7th wonder of the world.
What mausoleum?
It was that the tomb for that guy named Mausolus. It's where we get the name mausoleum. The guy was like, his name was Mausolus or something like that, and then they made the mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which I believe was his tomb, and that became like the 7th wonder of the world. It's somewhere
His
over
last
in Turkey.
name? What if it was just his first and last name? Mausoleum.
No, it wasn't like Liam Neeson. It was like
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. The Liam Neeson of Halicarnassus.
Mausoleum Neeson.
That's a good name.
That would work.
Oh, maybe that is his real name. Maybe that is his
Mazel
Mausoleum
tov.
Neeson. The Jewish, it's the Jewish actor Mausoleum Neeson. Toph.
Mausoleum
Why did you
Neeson.
see? Don't start stuff like this, because that's what gets me. When you start saying things like that, then I get sidetracked because I'm still thinking about bananas and the 7th wonder of the world and mausoleums and everything else that is driving me insane. So don't sidetrack me like that.
Speaking of mausoleums, the Taj Mahal, that's like basically a mausoleum, right?
It was built for somebody's. Ooh! I'm about to say. Oh, you're about to get me. I need to look that up. It was built for somebody's wife,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was built for somebody's wife. I'm looking it up right now. I'm always very. Yeah, it's the tomb of his favorite wife. Yeah,
I hate to
Okay.
see where his second favorite wife is buried.
she's out in the trailer park. No, but I've always wanted to go see some of these famous structures, and I think what I have found from the various structures I have seen, the ones that you see on the internet and their pictures and all that, they're very some of them are very staged, like the surrounding area. All right, so here's an example. I went to the Alamo in Texas, your state.
Yes.
Yes, I was very shocked to find out that the pictures that you see of the Alamo, you're
Yeah.
standing in a Haagen-Dazs when you take those pictures.
It's bad.
It's like and there's a Ripley's Believe It or Not right there. There's a chocolate factory down the road. I mean, it is very
Never. Well, I haven't been to that many historical sites, but I have seen like what's the faces on the mountain? Mount Rushmore. I've seen that. That's pretty neat. But yeah, when I went to the Alamo, I was like, so where's it at? They're like, this is it. I'm like, no, this doesn't look like the movies.
the surrounding Pueblos, or not Pueblos. I just got back from that New Mexico trip. The surrounding missions around San Antonio are very nice. Are more interesting than the Alamo. The most famous. Go ahead.
You watch the movies and like I'm expecting this like big fort looking thing, the big walls, and then but the actual Alamo is just this little bitty church, and it's not big, and like it was so disappointing.
I just remember the tour guide walking up to it, and he said, "See these holes here? They think that's where so-and-so got shot." And I'm like, no, you're just making that up. You just saw some dents into the side of this building, and like, that's where Davy Crockett, that's where he got stabbed. I'm like, no, You're just making that up.
Jim Bowie whittled those in there with his knife.
I will say, Big Ben, and I think it was more of the setting.
The bear?
That I know the tower.
Oh,
the clock tower in London, England. I think that was the neatest. When you see the perspective of Big Ben, you're walking across this bridge, and behind you is the aquarium and the London Eye, which is that really, really big Ferris wheel. I went and got on that Ferris wheel. I then went into the aquarium where they have all these signs begging you not to poke fish, because all the aquariums that they're like, they have no tops on them, and so the fish are just swimming around, so you can reach out and touch them. And so of course there's this sign with this finger poking a fish with a big X there saying, don't poke fish, which just encourages you to poke fish, which I did. I poked a stingray. I'm man, I'm man enough to say it. You ain't the boss of me. I'm from Texas. But when I went outside, it was raining. And I put on my raincoat, and I got out my umbrella, and I walked across the bridge, and Big Ben started ringing, and I stood there for a moment and thought, "This is it. This is what I imagined it would look like." It was exactly what you see on television.
This is a monument.
Yeah, this is it. I like this. I like it a lot. And then I went down through the area where I like it a lot, and it was it was beautiful. And so there's just some things like that fall flat.
I think if I've been. A man-made structure.
Statue of Liberty.
I mean, it's okay. It's not that impressive.
No, it's beautiful, man. It's cool. It's a chick with her little gown on with that book and the flame. I don't know what's about. The French made it. I know that. It's about liberty.
Isn't that where they smuggled in the warriors inside of her and they took over America?
It's cocaine. They smuggled in Spartan warriors and cocaine.
Her nose has got a bunch of white powder all over it.
That's exactly what happened, Goppy. That's exactly what happened. And then the Greeks were like, "Don't let them in." And like, no, dude, this is and all these French warriors. History. We got this.
Well, that's about 30 minutes, and it's late.
Dan Perot, send us an email. Send us an email.
He doesn't listen to us. You always act like he listens to us. He doesn't listen to us. He still doesn't know who we are. I'm pretty sure, even though he was on here.
Oh, hey, shout out to This Family Plays Games. Did I say that right? They were on Good Morning America.
Our Family Plays Games. Yeah, no.
Our Family Plays Games. Cool. That was super cool. I wish we had a family that we could be on Good Morning America.
You need to get Jack. You need to start recording Jack. He's gold, Jerry. Gold.
Jack is gold.
He's more fluent than Enrique.
I'm about to say this right now. Enrique's interviewing techniques have gone up.
Well, that's true.
I'm really thinking about next time we need to record an interview, but do it live, have the actual video of it. And so we'll set up an interview with Enrique and some big designer. And then when they flip on the camera, it's just Enrique shirtless with the bat signal. And he's asking all these really hard-hitting questions what's your favorite seventh wonder? What's, how do you feel about, and, him just laying out the questions.
Just give him some time to think. And he does pretty good.
That's basically all it is.
I did have. We're done after this. I was just going to read one email we got.
All right, read it.
From Monique from Canada. She said, "Just wanted to say I really love your show." And that's all I really need to read. The rest is superfluous to that statement. But I'll continue anyway. She says, "I've been binge listening from the beginning since y'all were on Sporadically Bored, and now I'm finally caught up. Love getting to hear two friends have so much fun together. That's us. We're best friends. It's been especially great during this crazy time of anxiety and isolation. Really appreciate your going the extra mile to continue recording remotely during quarantine too. You're welcome, Monique." And then she just thanks us for recording. And she says she'll keep listening. So we always like to get nice, encouraging emails. So please feel free to send us more.
Yes. I don't mind.
In these discouraging times, I like to be encouraged.
I don't mind some harsh criticism either. I mean, feel free to criticize Gobby all you want. Send us an email. Let us know what he can. Let him know what he can do better.
Everything, live life.
Your breathing is annoying. I love it when I love it when people just hate on something for the sheer fact that they want to hate it. They just nitpick something to death, and you just know they're being unreasonable.
You got to be contrary.
I just
that
love
sounds like
that.
you. That's like you.
It's just people that go into restaurants and yell at the waiter for something. You're sitting there going, I just know there's something wrong with you, but you're mad because I didn't want mayonnaise on this.
Aren't those called Karens now?
But that's a slur. And because I have a friend named
Karens
Karen.
and Kins. I think that's what they deemed it these days. If your name is Karen, I apologize.
It's a weird. Isn't it fascinating that there's a name that we associate with that activity, and people might think that's odd, but people, you think about that. You think of a Karen. That's going to be.
Well, it's like Benedict Arnold. Oh, you don't be a Benedict Arnold or don't be a Judas. That means
nobody.
You were bad. You betrayed really badly. So somebody named Karen must have really went off.
Arnold killed the name Benedict. Like for 150 years, nobody's kid was named Benedict until we got Cumberpatch. He brought it back in. But yeah, it's eggs. Like you think, and like Adolf, nobody named their kid.
No.
There's just certain names that
Ruined.
just die. And so I really think we'll see, nobody's going to be naming their kid Karen for this generation. And so it's going to be a long time. We will see no more Karens. And that's sad. Karen's a good, strong name. It implies that you care.
Karen. She's Karen.
Yeah. And it's just sad. Why couldn't they have picked a name that's not that great? Of all the names,
that'd be like, okay, from now on, we're going to name every morbidly obese person we know a Gabi. Look at that big old Gabi over there.
Are you trying to make that a thing? Are you trying to make that a meme?
Hey, I wouldn't mind. It's true. It's sad because it's true.
No, that's not how that works. The society has to, as a whole, get together and
I can't start it myself.
You can't start yourself. I've tried to start things myself and try to get sayings and words to become words, and they don't happen.
You kept telling me to call you the grill master when you made that last barbecue, and I refused to do it.
I am the grill master, just like that. Like the beast master, I am the grill master.
All right, that's enough. I got to go to bed.
Night.
We're recording this on a weekday at night. That's the sacrifice we do for our listeners, Monique. She appreciates that.
That's a very unique name, Monique. I like that.
Yeah. From Canada, too. A Canadian listener.
We don't have a lot of Canadian listeners, I don't think.
Probably not.
I don't know what that's about.
What's that? All right. So, see, you just keep delaying. I've done said we're done like twice now.
You can shut us off. You can close us out for once. I'm always starting this and closing this.
All right.
Why don't you close us out? I don't know what you think this is all about.
All right. That's it. Thanks for listening,
shout out
everybody.
to my Canadian friend.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.